the Real Podcast. Let's go get it here. January the 3rd, 2026, man. Happy birthday to happy heavenly birthday to one of my best friends that's birthday is today. Passed away a couple of months ago. Right here in the 386. Um then to actually wake up and hear uh let's say see that a young man was killed in the 386 by gun violence. And that young man, I actually know his mother and father, like if for years, as if his mother is a close friend of mine slash sister. I can, very good person. And to hear that her son, her only son, had passed away here in the 386 by gun violence at a function, at an event that was for us to be celebrating. And I say us because our race to be celebrating whatever New Year. Not more likely, it's just the New Year. We celebrating the New Year. Um, you and you, we have a situation to where is gun violence. We've been on this gun violence thing for a minute here in the 386. At one time it was so bad that you know almost like I don't know how fast it would happen, but it would happen so fast that you thought it would happen during there every week. Um, and to be someone that actually lived in that type of environment. And what I mean by that type of environment is where everywhere you went, this type of thing was happening. I'm gonna say this: it wasn't happening even in my environment. Back when we was actually, living it to the point where if that was happening, it wasn't happening like this. You know, it's it's I don't what I'm not actually agreeing with or even understanding is why do you have to take a gun to any event, especially when this event was planned ahead of time for partying. Um, I understand we living in an open and carry state. I understand that you got the right to tote guns. Um, and then we don't even know if the person that actually did this has that right, or I mean, I ain't gonna say has that right, but has actually went and I say exercised their right. My thing is it's black on black. when it comes like this. And we got to actually get down to, I ain't gonna say get down to, actually got to see what we seeing. And this is a lot of people, and I count me in this situation. A lot of us are not actually talking to all of the youth about how you supposed to move and about how you supposed to look at others, especially others of your own kind. We we keep hurting our own kind, and we think we're gonna get ahead somewhere, or we complaining that we ain't getting ahead because we coming at each other. Now we got to stop playing with this. I'm talking to even the people that's older than me and the people that's my age, because everybody know. Okay, yeah, I'm 55. We done seen this type of atmosphere. It's just the only difference in the atmosphere we living in right now is social media out there. That's the only difference. So if you actually look at yourself and say, look here, man, don't let social media throw you out there to where you thinking this sweet. Even the ones that's doing the damage. Also to the ones that's not, that feel you not a part of the damage. Because a lot of us feel like we're not a part of the damage when we are. You really have to look at your your atmosphere and your environment with a microscope. You have to. Nowadays, because social media is just what it is. But these killings and these shootings and these deaths is real. It's real. And we got to stop looking at it as if it's not. And what I mean by that, we got to stay on our pivot foot on this situation. And that means we got to get a hold to our children, especially our children that's toting guns. Because a lot of us have to realize the mentality of people that's toting guns don't mean they know the situation of between violence and protecting themselves. And some people are not even holding the guns out there to protect themselves. They're looking for somebody to put something in them. Listen, we can't look at nobody else until we look at ourselves. Stop looking at everybody else and look at yourself. And what I mean by that is this, is how you are teaching in the homes. And this goes for those ones that actually know you know your children packing. Even whether they packing legally or illegally, you know they packing. Or you know they have that mentality. Because we know our children. We know them. Let's stop acting like we don't know our children. And you have to know who your children are around. What kind of information your children are getting from other people, because I was out there. I got information from different types of people. I got information from people that was in the church. I got information from people that was in the streets. I got information from people that was gangsters, robbers, swindlers, whatever. I got information from all of them. Everybody information can't be used, in every situation. And when they got bad information, or when I say bad information, anything that puts you in a position that you would disrespect or go against anybody that look like you. Great day. We always like to cry. We do what others are doing to us. We doing it to ourselves. We hurting ourselves, man. Because we can't. One thing we don't want to do. I ain't gonna say we can't, because we can do what we want to do. Especially you can do what you want to do mentally. You can do what you want to do mentally. You can do what you want to do spiritually. Because whatever you build in your mind gonna go to your spirit, and then your spirit gonna accept it. So you building this. We need to stop playing. We dealing with spirits here. And if you mentally just trying to be messed up, and what I mean by that, everything you do is all about getting over. Everything you do is all about getting around somebody, or you making sure you got it and you don't care about the other person. It's a lot of things you need to make sure you got, but not before somebody else. One thing you need to make sure you got is the spirit. And I'm talking about the good one. That's what you need to make sure you got, because that's the one gonna make sure you get everything you looking for. But if, like I say, in one of my last, if you are an impatient person, it's gonna be like that. So we gotta look at this thing spiritually. And we gotta hold ourselves accountable, man. Cause I got kids too. And I know my kids ain't I already know because I know me. It's gonna be some things that they want to dibble and dab in. That don't mean that they love it until they start just constantly doing it. Now when you start constantly doing something, you building it into a love and an attraction of what you want to do. And that's fine. And the reason why I say that's fine because you gotta actually know there's consequences to it, especially if you're doing something messed up. We gotta look at ourselves and we gotta look at how we teaching our kids. Let me tell you something. I was in the drug game, but I ain't teach my kids nothing about drugs. Yeah, I ain't teach my kids nothing about drugs. Now, if they went out and found out on their own, that's on them. But I ain't teach them nothing because I knew what it did to me. But I already know it was already messed up. When I went to prison, I knew it was messed up. So it's things that we have to learn about our own lives so that we can pass it on to our children, let our children know. Especially now because our children toting guns now. Back in the days, we were the one toting guns. The only cats back in the days when I was rolling back there that was toting gun were cats like me that was out there. You was out there selling drugs. And if you was out there selling drugs, you had to have that gap because you might get robbed. Somebody see somebody see you ain't packing, they gonna rob you for that. That's what we told them for. We didn't told them just because we were looking for somebody to shoot. We told them because we were making sure the guy that didn't want to get out and do what we were doing that were trying to take from us, we were making sure he didn't get it. I don't, so it's what we show our children and it's what our children are around. If we're not around our children that much, then you have to actually kind of figure out who they're around, who they dealing with. Because our kids, somewhere down the line, our kids thinking it's cool to kill each other. I don't know why our kids thinking it's cool to kill each other. And we got to let our kids know who we know. So our kids would know, hey, my mama know him. Let me hold up. Maybe something went wrong. Maybe the sauce was on him too much. We got to come back together, man. We got to come together as a community and we got to come together as a family and try to get this thing together because our kids, it's really our kids killing each other. And a lot of times they end up with kids that we know. We know both families. So we got to really think, man, what we need to do as fathers, mothers, grandmothers, and grandfathers that's still breathing and can talk and explain to our kids who is who. Because the 386, man, a lot of us know somebody that knows somebody in the 386. From Lake City, White Springs, Jasper, Live Oak, we know somebody. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody. And we have to reach out and find out. Even when altercations happen, we need to reach out. And what I mean by altercations, and what I mean by altercation is once the disagreement or the misunderstanding occur. That's what I mean by altercation. Once the disagreement or the misunderstanding occur. Now, once the disagreement and the misunderstanding occur, if you are a person that is in communication with your children would tell them, hey man, I had a disagreement with a guy, his name was this. Do well, oh, I know him, or I don't know. Let me see if so and so know. And then you find out it was so and so that you work with over here, or so and so that went to the same church you went to. It's gonna be a connection somewhere in the 386. Cause I don't think we really got no hitmen running around here. Not if they is, we know them. If they run around in the 386, because we got to realize that these altercations are happening only because our children need to be taught compassion. Honestly, and I'm not. And when I say compassion, because I'm one of them people like this here. I don't believe in laying down and get beat down. I don't believe in that. When I say compassion, I mean to have enough compassion that when something happens, before anything physical can come out of it, we can go ahead and squash it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and find out if my daddy know this person, or if my daddy may know somebody, because we want this altercation to be fizzled out. And the reason why you want it to be fizzled out, because you don't want this. That way, okay, now in this op stuff. Oh, you seen the op at the y'all coming to the events looking, and y'all coming to the events that you know they're not really searching you, and you know everybody gonna be out. You're doing an event like the camo, you're doing an event for the people, for us. You know what I mean? Hey, you're doing it for us. These events is for you to come out and enjoy yourself. People that go out and work during the day, you know what I mean, or probably, I'm on vacation, whatever. But it's if you got to come to the event looking for somebody, even if you seen somebody you didn't like, you mean to tell me you gonna mess the whole event up and start this? That's what I don't understand. And we do it in our events, but we tough though. We tough. We're not going up by the courthouse up there. Ain't nobody going around Marion Street and doing nothing. Not nobody that's black. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go out here where the blacks at, and I'm gonna terrorize out here. Man, listen here. If you not gonna terrorize everywhere, stop picking your spots to terrorize. You know what I mean? Because that means you're not a bad person. You're not that person. That's all that means. You're not that person. Because if you that person, you're gonna go everywhere and terrorize. And I know a lot of people and a lot of these jits that's toting these gats. You done been, in so many words, punked by somebody, and it probably was another nationality, and you didn't fire. And you didn't go back to find nobody to fire. Not on that other nationality. So you have no business coming over here trying to fire at your own brother. You do that because you know they don't care about us being killed. And you do that because you're ignorant. And if you know better, then you stupid. We need to stop going at our own people off rip. That's our problem. We keep going at each other. What we do in our neighborhood, we don't go nowhere and do it elsewhere. We don't go nowhere else and do it elsewhere. Ain't none of y'all went. Hey man, y'all ain't. Yeah, ain't even. You're not even going there falling out on Marion Street nowhere. They're not gonna have it. You talking about the Blanche Hotel going there acting like you silly? Okay, go there if you want to. You ain't going. But you'll come in ours. You'll come to ours. You'll come to ours. Or I'm gonna wreck it over here. Come on, man. And then one thing about it is, the a lot of these jits y'all was baby. A lot of y'all was baby, and then y'all was told y'all was gangsters because y'all just, anybody that go to a live event that's for people that look like them, and they feel you get so angry or whatever, your anger is still so kindled that you will come to an event, and when you get in an argument, whether the argument started that night or whether the argument started through social media or whether the argument started somewhere else, but you so angry that you pull out a weapon and shoot at someone where you know there are multiple people around because you got that angry. I'm wondering, is that the first time? You got that angry, or is it just where you was at? You did what you did because we we need to cut this out, and to say something to the parents of all children, because I know the parents. I know the parents of the young man that was unalive. I know their parents, and when I say I know them, I know them. I talk to their parents. You know what I mean? That we went to school together. We in the 386. I can't act like I don't know them. But I really know them. I talk with them. I talk with Nice. I talked with Ted. I just talked with Ted a couple of days ago. Talked with him. You know, it's so I know they hurting. Actually, the whole 386, the young man have family and friends all over. So I'm trying to what I understand it because it's spirits. So I know what we need to do is we need to know who everybody is. Now you always gonna get people to think how they gonna think, but you also got to know how people thinking, and is they thinking or will they thinking put them in a position that they think is fine to eliminate a person from being here physically. Um, but the gun violence that's happening here, especially, and I'm talking about the gun violence on us. We beating we beating each other up, but there's so many people out there that's um speaking and preaching, and when I say preaching, I'm not talking about like podium, but they speak it so much to the way they preaching it to you. Peace. Um, my thing about that is this. That's all well and good, but I truly believe if you're going to talk peace, you have to make peace with everyone you have had an out with in order for your peace to be spiritually injected into anyone. Now, I believe that you got to be at peace within yourself. And I mean, when you're in peace within yourself, you is so in peace the way you have physically. Since everybody want to deal with the physical all the time, have physically went and made peace with all the people, even the people that may not know you have a alt with them. Because a lot of us are upset with people that don't even know we upset with them. But you ain't gonna say nothing because you already know. Probably 9 times 10, you're upset for the wrong reason, and you already know that. That's why you won't say nothing. When somebody feel they upset for something right, the first thing they gonna do is step to you and say, "Man, look here, man, bro. You did this or you did that. I'm trying to see if I'm crazy because I done it. I go to people all the time because I want to know because I done been in places where jokers would take your head off and take your life from you because they think you done played with them. Yeah, and I ain't talking about in the spot where you had a gun, which they made them, but I ain't talking about in the spot where you had a gun. I'm talking where you about been to get stuck 8 or 9 times. You don't even know because he feeling this way. So I already know if I'm feeling a certain way, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know because I'm not gonna let it fester. Not no more. Now I ain't saying I haven't done it. I have done it. I have let it fester, and it has cost me. It has cost me friends. It has cost me associates, and it has cost me some time. It's done cost me. So I understand all that. So now, since I know I don't want to be charged that type of life no more, I change up. And then when I changed up, I started speaking with my kids on how to be better than what I did and how I did that. I told them. I told my kids what I did. My kids know a lot about my life. And the reason why, so they'll know the life I truly live. Yeah. Other people might want to keep what they done a secret. No, not me. Because I want to make sure you don't go down that road. That's the way I'm gonna roll with that. So if I know my kids know my life, it don't even matter to me about the other stuff. So that's what we need to do. They say charity, which is meant in the translation in the Bible, is love. It begins at the home. If you love it in your house, and what I mean by loving in your house, and what I truly believe God mean by loving it in your house, is you loving your people in your house enough that they know everything about you. So that when you move in a certain way, they know why you move in that way, because they know you. And as they move, they'll know who to be able to let know how you and why you move. Because everybody don't need to know how you move. But the ones in your house do. Because that's the house you trying to protect. And the only way you can protect it, they gotta know the survivor that you know. And they gotta know the peace and the love and what you know. They gotta know that from you. And then they move on. That's how that is done. It starts in the home. And then it spreads abroad. But we can't stop it. Too many people done said they didn't want to live like they didn't want to raise their kids like they was raised. Okay, what if you're not gonna raise your kids like you was raised? Get this: if you got your own home, you got your own land, and you owning a business and running a business, and your kids running around like they crazy, then that's why. Because they wasn't raised like you was raised, so they don't even think about buying a home. They're not thinking about buying no land because they wasn't raised like you was raised. So you have to know what you're saying. You have to know what you're doing when it comes down to your children. See, a lot of us think the old way is the wrong way, but we got to get back to the old way. Man, Tupac even said that, and a lot of y'all follow Tupac, love him. You ain't this. He said we got to get back to the old way, and the old way is making sure your kids understand that life is for real, and it's so for real that you're gonna get disciplined in some type of way growing up in this house. You're gonna have to take care of certain things growing up in this house, because once I teach you responsibilities, after a while you're gonna respect when you get outside the house, because I got responsibilities in the house that I see that is paying me a type of virtue out of my home. you know, and that's what the kids got to see. But if all they seeing is violence, violence, anger, anger, we got to look at it too, man. We as a black community, you can go in Walmart, man, to see people, and they act like they don't know you, or you can speak to them, or they are people moving out the way. What we don't realize is the same way the other races treat us, we treat each other like that. Yeah, we treat each other like that. That's why we get what. That's why we getting handled like we getting handled. We getting handled because we are showing them how we treating each other. So they say, oh, they don't care about each other. Once people see unity, they either gonna try their best to dismantle it or they gonna back away from it. But if you don't allow them to dismantle it, they will back away from it. But we can start a unified situation and break it down because something was said, or his sister and my sister ain't don't get along. It over some foolishness. We'll break up a group, or we'll break up a plan that we trying to get to build for us. We'll stop it in a minute. But soon as another race builds something, we jump on that, man, so fast. We jump on it fast and we help them prosper with what they got going on. That's what the problem is. Our kids don't even see us unifying ourselves. They hear us talking about this girl that live across the street, or the dude that I work with on the job, or the guy that think he know too much, or the female that talking to everybody. It's always some type of foolishness, and a lot of times when you hear this foolishness, you find out later on that was total lies. That's the life we living in now. It's just been fasting, and it's really been fasting since social media, and it only fasted because social media, just like AI. A lot of what you're seeing on social media ain't even real. It's a lot of stuff pasted and redone. I'm in this business. I know it's not real. I look at it. It's entertainment to me. I don't take this stuff serious, man. It's just like our kids. They taking a lot of this stuff serious. They taking it like it's real. It's a real reality of a life, and it's not. The reality of life, man, is prospering and helping others prosper and building something so that everybody can be joyous. Events that they having these events to celebrate something, which is fine. You want to celebrate, but brothers, sisters, we got to stop kicking each other in the teeth. That's our problem. We got to stop doing it to each other. Man, if you know you're not going up on Marion Street with no guns and running up in there or in Blanche and whatever, acting like you crazy or somebody disrespect you or say something that you don't like and you wait outside or whatever, however this here going with this gunplay, man, y'all not doing this in the other um racist areas. And I'm not telling you to, but if you're not gonna do it everywhere, because I know y'all done been disrespected somewhere else. I know you have. Man, listen, man. I done been disrespected during everywhere I done went. And I done walked on. And it's not because I was scared. It was because I feel like, okay, I understand now. I ain't really got to come at you like that. What I need to do is keep doing what I'm doing, especially if I know you. Then you might it just might be your night way. But we for some reason we don't we got to do us. You know, no, uh, I got to show this. You know, this the N word. I got to show him. You know, and we got to and young our young brothers lose their life. And I'm talking about these are and young brothers just people love and they brought joy to some people, man. I mean, the people they knew personally, they brought joy to these people. I know, I know his mom. I know what type. Me and his mama talked when he was incarcerated at the time, and I know what type of young man he when he come home. I know what type of young man he is, and the thing about it is if a person is just talking in his words, I guns shouldn't come out. It's words. You know, you're not being physically harmed, and a gun come out. When you're not being physically harmed, a gun come out. It's an open and carry state, yeah. But it's supposed to be where you physically, you are defending yourself. You're not defending yourself. You just done got mad. And to the parents, even me, we got to we got to really do better. I don't care how old your children are, they still your children. Once you start thinking they not your children, that's when you actually gonna be to the point where you either gonna be burying them or visiting them at the county jail or prison. Once you start thinking that, and what I mean by thinking they not your children, to the point where I ain't gonna question them about what he do. No, man, I question my kids right now today about stuff they do and people they deal with. I question them, and I'm gonna keep questioning them because I don't want to bury them, and I don't want to go visit them in no county jail or no prison. So I'm gonna question them. But they like it. Because they see your daddy serious. Yeah, man, I'm serious about that. I'm gonna protect my kids, but I'm gonna protect them by teaching them that I love them so much you can talk to me about anything, man. And the reason why, because I want to make sure I can I've been through a lot. And a lot of what my kids gonna go through, I done been through. So I'm the book, I'm the blueprint to my kids. So I stay on them, yeah. And I stay on them. And the reason why I stay on them because I don't want them to end up thinking that, oh, I can do this or I can do that out of character. No, no. In your character, as far as I'm concerned, my character, my kid's character is my character. Cause it's gonna reflect back to me. So that's what, to the parents, man, we really got to be in our kids' lives. We got to stay in them unless you, like I say, unless you just want to bury them or you want to visit them in the county jail or the prison. You got to be on them because a lot of these kids is taking advice from people that don't really care about them. A lot of these kids is looking at people that don't even know them. We don't, got this music world, this entertainment world, and I'm not just going to put it on music. Entertainment, period. Actors, all that. Entertainment, period. That's what it is. They have been using a lot of, they've used a lot of real life stuff to show you stuff, but no, it's just entertainment. And know that the outcome is not going to be like what you saw on TV. It's going to be reality. And nobody knows what the outcome of reality is as far as when it comes to leaving here. Don't none of us know how we gonna leave, but we know we got to. So you got to live as um cautious as you can or as you want to. I do it. I ain't gonna say I live cautious all the time because I didn't. I had to learn a lot of stuff. I had to go through some things, but I went through some things out there dealing in the streets. I learned. And people can say the streets don't love you, but to be honest with you, I ain't never seen nothing physical love nobody. Streets, a building, nothing. I never. See, the thing about it is, the streets may not love you, but somebody in the streets may love you. See, it's a difference. Yeah, I know the streets don't love you. A paved road, I know it don't love you, but somebody out there do. Yeah, somebody out there do. Because everybody in the streets at some time. And I ain't talking about the streets as far as that. See, when I talk about the streets, you ain't in your house. You on the job, you in the streets. You know? Because them same people that's either selling the drugs, using the drugs, same people that's doing whatever thing they do in the streets, whatever thing, because the reason I say selling the drugs, usually because that's what I did. So I relate to what I did. Now all the jack boys and whatever, all them people, they go inside banks, they go inside hospitals, they go inside Walmart, they go everywhere. They go post office, they go everywhere. So if you ain't home, you in the streets anyway. Just hoping somebody out there that love you that's in the streets while you out there in the streets when something happens to you, they look out for you. Yeah. I tell my kids all the time, I look at when it comes down to communicating, it's wordplay. Yeah. It's wordplay. So when I listen to wordplay, I start listening to spirits. Cause wordplay ain't nothing to me but that. It's wordplay. I'm trying to figure out what spirit gave me the wordplay. Was it a bad one or a good one? Cause we got two of them in us. That's why it says in the word when it was translated. It's according which one you feed. Everybody got two. So one thing you gotta do is know what you feed and which one you feed. You want to feed that one that think crazy, or you want to feed that one that think positive? Yeah, all of us got it. We can act like we don't, but all of us got it. And that's real. And that's speaking real. So you can play with it if you want to and make it seem like somebody upset you so much that you had it. No, you upset it yourself that much. Yeah, because if you ain't doing it, when you get upset, if you ain't doing that everywhere, it's just where you was at and how you felt on who you were coming at. Yeah, let's call a spade, man. If you you can't get so upset one time. Just it's the only time you ever got this upset. You know, it can't be not if you toting a gun. We got to think, man. We got to think. A lot of time we piss ourselves off. We talk to ourselves. You know, you put that up here to yourself, and then you make yourself believe that, and then you run with it. And the only reason I say that because I done it. Talk to myself so much that I'm gonna go do this anyway. I don't even care. Boom. That's where it's at. Gotta stop blaming on other people, man. Look at yourself. But when it comes to this gun violence, to the parents, let's really get a hold of our kids. I'm talking to all these parents that got these kids out here, man. And especially when you know your kids is running out on their own. And what I mean by running out on their own, they got their own vehicles, they moving on their own. Like my kids. They moving on their own. Let, 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 let's try to get them focused. And what I mean by get them focused, get in their business. Find out who they dealing with. And let them know. And even let that person that's hanging around them know if he get to the point of the way. But because I'm not going to allow the disrespect. Not me. Not for no children. You might well go and bring your gun to me right then if that's how you roll. You might because I'm not going to allow no disrespect. Not for no children. I don't care how much you pack in. I don't care how crazy you supposed to be. I'm not going to allow no disrespect. The reason why because I wasn't raised like that. And death is something that don't scare me. And the reason why it don't scare me because I got to do it anyway. I got to die. So that disrespect, no. No, I shouldn't allow that. Not no blatant disrespect. You know, some of them they got this little way where they come out their mouth slick because they got these little slangs that we don't understand as adults at our age. Because you know they change up the words, but the meaning's still the same. You don't even know that. With okay, we y'all you want to run it there? I don't deal in that slang. I used to, but I don't deal it no more because I want people to know how I feel. Young or old, I want you to know how I feel. Crazy or dumb, I want you to know how I feel. Ignorant or stupid, I want you to know how I feel. Period. And then we can go from there. But the gun violence in the 386, man, and that's Jasper, Hamilton County, which I was born in, Lake City, which is Columbia County, Florida, which I was raised in, lived in, went to school in, White Springs, which is in the middle of Lake City, and Jasper, Live Oak, to the 386. Hey man, let's let our kids know who is. Let's let them know who is now. Gotta start like that first. And if any of us got a problem with any of us in the 386, we need to reconcile it. That's the only way the gun violence gonna even come to get started, to be stopped. Yeah, that's why I be talking about the spirits. They travel. No matter which one it is. All it is, it just know it's all they carry no understanding. So that means if you have no understanding, you keep confusion. And the only way you can get understanding is you gotta break barriers. And how you break barriers is you go do that what you never done. And that's go back. because a lot of us have problems with each other. And some of us know we have it, and some of us don't. This is spreading, and it's spreading through the kids. That's what's going on. Let's tighten up. My condolences to Nyson, to Tad, and to Tad Jr. whole family. But we got to straighten up, man. Or we gonna keep on doing this. Yeah. Let's straighten up. This Mr. Go Get It, man. And I'm just speaking the real.
What am I to do when they spreading lies, but this is the truth? I ain't gon' post, ain't finna hate on your growth, but they gon' hit my side in the booth.